Hey everybody, and welcome back to Hex Token Channel. Your friendly host is Superman in the house, and of course, we're going to be talking about the NFT collections on Pulsechain. This is going to be an overview of everything that's out at the moment that at least I'm aware of, and so we're going to get into it. Hope you guys enjoy this, and of course, NFTs are an important part of Pulsechain. PRC 721 contracts, obviously over on Ethereum, they are pretty big. You can think of Bored Ape clubs there, and doodles and things like that. They're a big deal, and so important part of crypto adoption as well. And of course, getting on early, you're getting them for a much cheaper price. So it's a pretty good little move there. The cool thing about Pulsechain, of course, is a lot of these projects are launching with DeFi attached to it, including tokens, staking, and lots of other exciting game theory and behind that too. So it really is kind of cool. We're going to get into the current ones that are around at the moment. We're going to have a whole boom of NFT marketplaces out too. There's at least 2 out at the moment. But we're probably going to have at least 8 big ones on Pulsechain within a short space of time, maybe the next 30, 60 days. So we're going to be doing a separate video on the NFT marketplace. It's going to be a lot of fun. So let's get into it, folks. Here we go. And these are the NFT collections on Pulsechain that are tradable now. So you can see at the moment we've got Aves and Vertebrates. That's from Church Finance, which is also into DeFi offering there. We've also got Pulse Punks, which was the first collection out. Pulse Punks there, so we got that link, and of course we've got Pulse 8 Yacht Club as well, and of course you can see that on Twitter under Pulsechain Apes. That is the last big one. It is my favorite one so far, Pulse 8 Yacht Club, and the roadmap is very, very cool. We're looking forward to that. Lots of big things coming in the next week, including a token that will get tradable, so we're looking forward to that, and staking within a couple of weeks. The other big one, of course, is Space Apes. That's out at the moment, and you can, can buy and sell those. So these are all minted. They've all been minted already, and they're all tradable at the moment. So one of the big markets, of course, is beatbox.market, and of course, you can see a lot of these tradable here. You've got Heart Army here. You got Space Apes. You got Pulse Punks. You got PUSD. These are the Pulse Apes. You got Vertebrates and Aves. Those are both from Church Finance. You got Pulse Funks there. You got Pulse Peppy as well. That is out at the moment. And of course, you got Hex Funks as well, which I think is on another chain, but you've got all these out at the moment playing. So very, very exciting here on our Beatbox. So you can actually just jump into one of these. This is Pulse Apes. And of course, you can see the floor price. You can go and buy one of these on the market. Obviously, Hex Toys Marketplace is out as well. Once again, we're going to talk about that in another video. We've got Aves and Vertebrates there. You can see that on the marketplace. So Vertebrates and Aves there from Church Finance. That is out as well. Obviously, Pulse Punks is in the market too. You can see Pulse Punks, and I really like Pulse Punks from the point of view that they've got a lot of Pulse stuck with validators with David Feder, a well-known person in the community, and they're putting a lot of the Pulse that they earn from validators inside the reward pool, which is pretty neat there on Pulse Punks. Which is kind of cool. Floor price at the moment, 1.1 million, which is $100,000 above the actual mint price, which is kind of cool. Early days too. The very first collection got minted out. And of course, Space Apes as well is tradable too. And Space Apes, you can see over here, the very intense pixelated Space Apes here. And of course, you can see all those at the moment, floor price 175,000 Pulse at the moment. Those are in the market too. So they'll probably have a lot of different traits and rarity, things like that. So you've got to learn how to understand all those sort of things. Anyone that has a trait rarity, mint collection, you've got to understand that in terms of the value, so you don't overpay and all sorts of stuff. You pay sort of get a good deal, right? All right, now you've got the contracts here for the actual. If you go to Beatbox, you can see that at the top left is contract. You can go check out how many NFTs are in the marketplace. You can check out how many owners there are, who owns what. All that sort of stuff you can check out on the link at the top left here, which is pretty cool. Now, those are the tradable ones now. And of course, let's have a look at the ones that you can mint now, because that's probably ones that you're looking at as well. And of course, this is the list. NFT collections on Pulsechain and mint now. We've got Peppy NFT on Pulse. So this is pretty popular because you also earn Peppy tokens, which is probably going to be the best, in my view, meme coin on Pulsechain that got copied over. So I think that's pretty cool. We've got Pulse Funks. We've got Heart Army, and of course, we've got Pulse Dinos. Now, Heart Army is actually made by the Beatbox market as well, so that's kind of cool to know. Heart Army there. We've got Pulse Dinos and Pulse Emphas as well. So there we are, Pulse Dinos and Pulse Emphas. Those are the ones that you can currently mint at the moment that I'm aware of. So let's have a quick look at the first one there with Pepe there. Pepe, of course, this is the site here, PepeNFTPulse.com. And they also have a 14.2% reflection. So all of them may have some varied tokenomics to them as well, not just the NFT, which is kind of cool. When things buy and sell after they've been minted, often there's fees and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool. At the moment, 3,503 is available out of 4,200 there. And you can mint 42 mints per transaction allowed. So that's the maximum you can do there for every transaction. So they're slowly minting out as well. Some are going to mint out faster. The more popular they are, the bigger the audience they've got. A lot of these projects are quite new to Pulsechain because it's really NFTs are just taking off at the moment. So some of them have quite a small followers and they're just building up their base. So you're really early on Pulsechain, right? We're on day 75. And of course, the NFT collections have really just started to launch over the last couple of weeks. So just the way it goes. So that is Pepe, but I've heard from people that own some of these that they're earning nice little Pepe tokens as well as part of the reflection. So they're enjoying that. And of course, the Pepe goes up and to the right on the old Pulsechain, then you're going to make some good gains out of that too, which is pretty neat. So that's Pepe on Pulse. We've also got Pulse Funks. So let's have a quick look at Pulse Funks here as well. This is Pulse Funks here at the moment. So the 5,451 as well is left out of 10,000. So they've got different amounts. Some have 5,555. Some of them have 10,000 to mint out. Some of them will only have 1,000, as we'll see soon. And they're all at different prices. So the mint prices are very different from each other. Pulse Apes, of course, it was only 100,000 pulse for a mint. This one here is 420,000 pulse for a pulse punk. And you can see that the Pepes on NFTs, the amount is they have to pay is 669,420 pulse per mint. So they're still minting out at the moment. Now, because some have already minted out, they can already be tradable. So they're already tradable on Beatbox, right? So or Hex Toys marketplace, and there's going to be heaps of marketplaces coming. So we're going to talk about that in another video. So that is the one there, and you can mint those out. Kind of cool. You can check out anything else. There's got a rarity sheet here as well. You can check out the rarity table, and it'll help you out with the rankings there. Also top 10 and stuff like that, top 50. So different information on each of them. But if they've got rarity, sometimes they provide that information as well. Sometimes they don't provide that. You got to work that out. So it's pretty important there as well. You can read all the tokenomics and other things that are on the website. So I'll leave all the links in the video description. You can check out all those too. So that's pretty cool. The next one, of course, is Heart Army. And Heart Army is by Beatbox, the marketplace. That's their own one. And of course, you can see here that so far there's 5,074 remaining in the Heart Army. So you can still mint that out too. Only 10 can be minted per wallet. You can mint up to 10 tokens. So that's pretty cool. The cost is 255,555. So that's important to know. They've got the contract at the top here, which is kind of cool. And we'll have a quick look at that. You can see that there is the tokens in there. How many people? They got 120. Yeah, they've got the pulse in there at the moment. Let's go to the Heart Army. We'll click on that. And it should give us the details. This is on the Pulsechain scanner. Explore there. 481 total supply at the moment. 80 dresses are holding that at the moment. So that's kind of cool around that. That's the Heart one. And let's have a look at some of the cool artwork here on the homepage. Looking pretty cool. They're going to have these things called seasons and generations. You can read up all that yourself. I'm just doing an overview. They'll all have different tokenomics and themes and things like that to it. So that is kind of cool. The artwork's pretty neat. If you like the artwork, they certainly have a cool story on this as well. You can go through all that. It is very, very cool. I have read it for myself. All right, so we've got also Pulse Dinos is on at the moment. You can mint those. Let's find that, Pulse Dinos. This is, I don't know too much about this project myself other than an overview, but they've got a lot of cool things, minting, profile, market, DGN, stats, etc. The roadmap, you want to read the roadmap, the future, of course. Currently at the moment, 480 left out of 1,000. Price is 350,000 Pulse, and you can connect to that too. All about the Pulse, so you can see all the details and the tokenomics, market flow. That is at the moment. So there's lots of pixelated ones. Obviously, pixelated ones have always been popular from the early days. There's all the social medias as well. You can check all that stuff out on here as well. Now, obviously, you can mint, connect your wallet and mint to that too. Once again, with all of this, use a DGN wallet to mint on anything outside of the main stuff, and don't use your main portfolio wallet with your main bag. So make sure it's got its own private keys or seed phrases, and use a DGN wallet in all cases, so you limit the risk of interacting with any protocol. So just remember that. Finally, we've got Pulse Infers. This is a brand new one. Don't know much about this one. This has got 6,666. There's only 83 minted so far. So it's very slow, but the mint price is 99,000 Pulse. And of course, you can see the kind of artwork that they have with these sort of slim people here. And there's 6,606. So it's a very small project, but hey, it's out there at the moment. And you can mint those at 99,000 pulse. A very easy entry on that one. Once again, I don't know much about this project, but you can use a wallet to do that. All right, they do have Twitter as well on the Twitter account, so you can see that. So there we are. All right, what else we got going? We've got the final page, I think. Let's get on to, so you can mint all those now. But in terms of minting soon, these are two big ones. So these two big ones coming up, really, really big. We've got Pulse Souls and Richie's World. And I have previewed those on Hex Token channel because I really, really like them. And they're in my top 4, which is pretty cool. Pulse Souls is coming up. So let's go quick look at Pulse Souls. This is going to be minting out in 8 hours and 32 minutes. So that's why I had to get this video out now because this is going to be pretty big. There's 1,000, of course, unique art pieces. This is a very, very different project. Now, check out my live stream for today. It's going to be pretty cool. Now, I understand that if you're whitelisted, which means that you've got a special list on there, you can get it for 350,000 pulse. If you're not whitelisted, the mint's going to be 450,000 pulse per mint. There's only 1,000, though, unlike the other collections, which had 5,000, 10,000. This has only got 1,000, and they don't have features or traits to them. So there's no rarity in that sense. It's pretty cool. But there's a pretty nice little roadmap with that. You can see the artwork spectacular on this. Going to be pretty amazing. And of course, there's two things to remember. That there are 8 different types of souls. Some of them are more common, human souls, but the extremely rare one, the Eternal Souls, is only 10 of those. Very, very cool. And in case you randomly mint these out, you may, if you get an Eternal Soul, you'll also get an airdrop of 8 million pulse. So that's pretty good. You're going to be in the money quite a lot. You get a 1% chance of getting one of those. Pretty cool. So that is really neat. You can read about the roadmap coming ahead as well, minting, staking, and of course, ecosystem expansion as well. So that's coming up and also on Twitter. So you can check that out too. That's pretty much it. And 8 hours and 30 minutes to go. So exciting times. I will be participating in this. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so that is that one. And then, of course, we've got Richie's World. This is another one of the top ones in my top 4. That is coming up as well. And that is very close. So Richie's World, I've covered this on another video as well, previewing this. This is expected to launch on the 31st of July. And this is based on doodles, but mixed in with Richard Hart. That's why it's called Richie's World. And, of course, you can see the doodle land there. It looks amazing, doesn't it? Great colors, and looking forward to this as well. You can read all the details about tokenomics and things like that, core values, get into all that details there. And that's going to be launching on the 31st of July. So put that in your calendars. And, of course, you can follow them on Twitter as well. So cool. They're going to have royalties, of course, and they're going to have marketplace. So check all that stuff and the FAQ there as well. I'll leave all the links in the video description. So that is the big 2 coming up there as well. So I'm pretty excited about this. If we come back to here, Pulse Punks was the first collection. I really like that. It's in my top 4. Pulse Apes Yacht Club is in my top 4. Probably number 1 at the moment easily. And then, of course, there are other cool ones, Pulse Souls and Richie Worlds in my top 4 there at the moment. I've still got a space for a number 5. So we'll see what that is. Now, in terms of potential future ones, Space Diamond OG looks like it will come up in the future. And we'll talk more about that once we find out more details as well. There's not going to be many of those. It's going to be 555 of those. And we'll see how that turns out as well. So that's a quick overview of the NFT collections on Pulsechain. Really starting to heat up in this market. The PRC 721s, we cover a lot on DeFi and PRC 20s, but PRC 721s are really starting to blow up. It's bringing a whole ton of new users to Pulsechain, whole ton of excitement to Pulsechain with the visualizations. And of course, it's really different because it's NFTs plus DeFi and a lot of these different NFTs, which makes it really, really exciting, and passive income and all that good stuff. A lot of them will be launching a PRC 20 token with it, which is kind of cool for some of them. Particularly Pulse Souls, Pulse Ape and other ones like that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. What else are we going to say about that? I think that's it. We're going to cover NFT marketplaces in another video. That's going to heat up too. So that's going to add a lot of value to these NFT collections, because NFT marketplaces, especially some of the big ones coming like Mintra and NFT on Pulse, Pixel Park and Hocus Pocus and things like that, they're going to have a lot of different people looking at these top NFT collections. And some of them will last, be sustainable long term. Others will be up and down. Some of them may not survive that well. So you have to pick wisely. And I've let you know my top 4 at the moment. But hey, look, people like different things, and you can check that out in the list here. I'll leave the links to in the video description. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and hit the bell for more great content. It's going to be a lot of fun. Take care. Bye for now.